Thank you. Welcome to tonight's meeting, everybody. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Chair Fleming,
Here.
Vice Chair Davis. Here. Treasurer DeVarty,
Already here.
Secretary Hatcher,
Here.
Trustee McKnight Morton,
Here.
Trustee Milliken,
Here.
Trustee Peck.
Here.
Thank you, everybody. Before I ask for approval of the agenda, I would like us to take a moment of silence in memory and recognition of longtime faculty member Bonnie Tu, who passed away on March 13th. Bonnie was a beloved communications faculty at WCC for many years, joining the college in 1994 after earning an associate degree from Kellogg Community College and bachelor's and master's degrees from Eastern Michigan University. Bonnie was intensely dedicated to her students, instilling a profound love of learning in all who stepped into her classroom. She was also committed to serving the college outside the classroom throughout her career to support initiatives that help make WCC a better place. She will be deeply missed by her many students, colleagues, and friends here at the college. Please join me in a moment of silence as we remember her. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Do I hear a motion to approve the agenda?
Support.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. All right, next for our recess. Do I hear a motion to recess the monthly meeting to go into closed session to discuss a collective bargaining strategy and that we reconvene in open session upon completion?
Support. Move.
Support. Okay, thank you. Any discussion? None. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Chair Fleming.
Yes.
Vice Chair Davis,
Yes.
Treasurer DeVarty,
Already yes.
Secretary Hatcher. Yes. Trustee McKnight Morton,
Yes.
Trustee Milliken. Yes. Trustee Peck.
Yes.
Okay, trustees, please go over to room 120 here.
Actually, Frank is going to be the chief spokesperson with AFSCME. So he's.
I think so too. He was out there in the minus 10 degree weather, minus 30 degree weather out there. Hey, how's it going? See ya. Good to see you. Doing all right? Good.
Meeting. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Moving on to tab A, approval of the minutes. The recommendation is that the Board of Trustees approve the minutes of the February 24, 2026 monthly meeting as submitted. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes? Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. All right, moving on to citizen participation. First up, we see the WCCEA. Ms. Fournier, are you ready?
Good evening. Over the past several months, we've discussed challenges the faculty and staff continue to face amid the ever-changing landscape of higher education and evolving systems here at WCC. Faculty are working diligently to meet the ADA requirements in Canvas, adapt to new curriculum and assessment, programs, and continue to deliver high-quality instruction in our classrooms. Rather than revisiting those challenges again this month, I would like to take a moment and recognize some positive steps that the WCCEA and the administration have taken to address these concerns. First, the WCCEA leadership has been informed that TIAA Traditional will once again be available as a retirement option at WCC. As you may recall, this plan was previously removed from TIAA's offerings. We are pleased that the faculty and staff who wish to remain with this option will be able to re-enroll. We are grateful to Chris and the Human Resources team for their work to restoring this important benefit. We also appreciate the college's attention on the ongoing situation between Blue Cross Blue Shield and Michigan Medicine. The administration's awareness and willingness to pivot, if necessary, helps ensure the faculty and staff retain access to their doctors and medical centers. We all hope for a swift resolution that minimizes any disruption to any of our healthcare needs. Additionally, we recognize the contract negotiations currently underway between the Ann Arbor Education Association and Ann Arbor Public Schools. As the WCCEA, we stand in support of the AAEA and hope that these discussions lead to a fair and equitable agreement for the educators of Ann Arbor Public Schools. Finally, I'd like to take a moment to honor our beloved colleague, Bonnie Tu, who passed away, as you just heard, last week. Bonnie dedicated 32 years to WCC in the communication discipline, and up until February, remained actively engaged in the classroom, transforming students' lives through her innovation, creativity, care, and commitment. She played a vital role in the Humanities, Social, and Behavioral Sciences Division, contributing to initiatives such as LA Innovate, Liberal Arts Week, and TEDx WCC. And that's only in the last 15 years since I've been here. She had 17, is that right? More before I got here. Bonnie was known for her visionary ideas and her ability to connect with students and colleagues in meaningful ways that strengthened our community. To those of us in the Communication, Media, and Theater Arts department, because I am in that department, Bonnie was and will always be the heart and soul of our department, and we remain committed to carrying her forward her vision in her honor. Thank you.
Okay, public comments. I have one sign up for Mr. Jeremy Haley. Are you ready? Come on up.
Good evening, everyone. Jeremy Haley, Ypsi Township. I'm here to support the resolution you have put forth to be exempt from Ann Arbor's DDA expansion. In 1994, the voters in Michigan put out, we had a 4% sales tax, and it went to 6%. Does anybody recall why it went to 6%? The 2% increase was supposed to alleviate some stress on property taxes on the homeowners. But since that time, I think they took advantage of the extra 2% and the increase in property taxes at the same time. My suggestion is that we pick one and focus on one and do away with the other. I.e., I would say go for a unified state sales tax and eliminate property tax, and it'll help affordability quite a bit. You'd be surprised. And because it really doesn't help for property taxes to keep going up, and that does correlate with the housing values. If you explain to me why Ypsi Township's building more $100,000 houses and Manchester's building $400,000 homes. Because those governments are going for the property values and the property taxes that 4 times the $1 million that they get in for every $100,000 homes. Okay. Other thing, the exit when you come out of here that goes to a hard right, people who have neck problems like myself, when you get in that turn, I can't look to the left completely. It makes for a total blind spot and like guess if anybody's coming around the corner that I can't see. So if there's next time you can adjust the engineering on that, I know the attempt, what you want to do is create people from making a left turn and going right if you could do it some other way, because it forces people to force their heads in some awkward position. I don't know if you guys probably all experienced too. Just imagine if you can't turn your head all the way like that. Other than that, I just leave it with that and just focus and support of the resolution that you guys got forth on the DDA. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Vanessa, were there any written communications? All right, thank you. Okay, up first is special reports. Our mission moment, EVPI Tucker. What have you got?
Good evening. It's a privilege to introduce to you an exceptionally skilled student, Michaela, who represents not only personal excellence, but the strength of our programs, our faculty, the opportunities that we create for students. Michaela made history, becoming the first woman to represent the United States in the 48-year history of the International World Skills Welding Competition. She earned that distinction by finishing in first place at the USA Weld Trials that concluded earlier this month in Huntsville, Alabama. World Skills is often described as the Olympics of skilled trades. This September, Michaela will travel to Shanghai, China, to compete against the best welders from around the world. This competition demands extraordinary precision, technical skill, and composure under pressure, qualities Michaela has demonstrated at every level. Michaela is a sixth student to qualify for World Skills here at the college, more than any institution in the United States. 3 of the past World Championship qualifiers are currently part of our welding and fabrication faculty. Alex Paskowski, who is here tonight and is our coach, qualifying in 2013, Brad Cleek in 2011, and our department chair, Glenn Kay, in 1997. As I mentioned, Alex is serving as her trainer and mentor throughout these competitions. In addition to a place on Team USA, Michaela received significant national recognition, including a $60,000 scholarship and additional honors that have already come and would continue to come from industry leaders. And now she's preparing for what will be an intensive schedule leading up to the competition this fall. Michaela started participating in welding competitions in high school. Many of the board members will remember that for many years we've hosted skills here on campus. She's a Dexter resident who won skills state and advanced to nationals while representing the South and West Washtenaw Consortium. At WCC, she's continued to build upon her skills and added a college-level Skills USA state championship in 2024. Michaela's story has attracted, of course, national attention, and her achievements highlight the growing importance and prestige of skilled trades as careers that underscore our college's role in preparing students for high-demand, high-skilled professions that drive our economy. And Michaela is breaking barriers and expanding opportunities for women in the trades. And we're really excited to have Michaela and Alex here tonight. And I would ask them to maybe come. I mean, it's not planned, but
We're going to do a board picture over here.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It's not, I didn't do anything. I didn't do any.
We'll do this and then we'll bring everybody in.
Are we on? Apparently.
Okay, stay right there. And then trustees, if you would please join us. On either side of Christina and Dr. Valanta. Dave's over there too, okay. Stuck there from the side. Oh, okay, thank you. That's very nice. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I think we're good. Thank you, everyone. Casey, is this on?
So trustees, I asked Michaela if she would mind if I asked her a question, and she agreed. Michaela, what made you choose this career path?
So it's a long story. I actually found welding when I was 10 years old. So I was at an event at the Henry Ford Museum called the Maker Fair, and there was an American Welding Society career trailer there where children can try virtual welding. And Alex actually helped build that trailer after he competed. So after that moment, and I tried the virtual welding, I thought it was the coolest thing ever, and that nobody else kind of wanted to be a welder when they grew up, so I was a little bit different. But so I just made it my thing from then on. I wrote about it in my careers in tech presentation in 7th grade, my 8th grade letter to my senior self and stuff. And then I was just so excited to join the Southwest Washtenaw Consortium in my junior year and take welding classes and actually start welding. So, and then I just kind of stuck with it, and I loved it ever since. So, yeah.
Well, what year was that at the Henry Ford that you began?
2014.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Thank
But
you.
you're inspiration for other young ladies like yourself.
To just be confident in yourself, and there's going to be moments where you're going to be underestimated, and just keeping your head down and just doing your job and doing what you're asked for, and having your confidence show in your work instead of out loud, which out loud's fine too, but they might not always listen to you, but showing that you can do it more than saying that you can do it is always great. So
Excellent.
yeah. Well, thanks for having me here. Oh, thank you.
This is for you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Congratulations. And thank you, Alex. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next special report is Trends in Higher Education, the Collaborative. You're up, President Blanca.
So trustees, this is a really exciting beginning. And what we are starting this evening is the master planning and strategic planning process. And this is, we're going to take a look at some trends. And you'll have the opportunity, you'll have the opportunity to, we have a form in your in your green folder to take a note or choose what you're very interested in learning more about, and we'll make sure that you get this information. Now, throughout this process, the board is going to have many opportunities for input. So, I think we put on this form introductory, because we don't want you to think like this is it. We're never going to ask your opinion again, because the master plan, you are planning, we are all, it's going to be the faculty, the staff, the community, and you, of course, we're planning for the future, a future that we might not even see. Or maybe see, I hope, it's 10 years, so it might be something we can do in 1 or 2. But it's an exciting time, and it's an honor to do this. So thank you for volunteering and being part of a board that leads us into the future. We're excited about it. Julie, would you like to introduce our speaker?
Good evening. I'd like to introduce this is one of the representatives of the collaborative that we're working with, and she is our primary senior planner, and her name is Rachel Momini, I want to make sure I said it right. And we've already been working with her to get things started and really looking forward to working with her in the collaborative as we move forward with this.
All right, thank you all. Good evening, and again, thank you for the opportunity to be here. I'm Rachel Momini. I'm the lead campus planner with the collaborative, and today I'll be sharing a brief overview of some of the trends that are shaping higher education today, and really how these trends are impacting institutions like Washtenaw Community College, and really why master planning is an important tool to help institutions respond to these changes. Oops. How do I go back? Oh, there we go. So as Julie mentioned, we're at the very beginning of this process, but we've assembled a team for this master planning effort with deep experience in higher education planning and really a collaborative and data-informed approach. So we'll be supported by a selection of consultants who will be providing various assessments as part of this effort that will help to analyze and validate the existing conditions on campus and will help to offer solutions. And some of these consultants already have a depth of knowledge in your campus today. You're already working with them. But I'll be the lead planner on this effort and project manager, and so I'll be the main point of contact. And Julie and I have already been, talking almost daily since we started this off. The other image on the screen, Michael Muse, couldn't be with us tonight. He's the principal in charge for this effort. He's actually in Grand Rapids at Grand Rapids Community College tonight supporting one of our other clients in support of a project that was actually a result of our master planning effort there. So we like it when we see our planning efforts come to fruition in built projects. So at the collaborative, education is one of our primary market sectors, and actually we have an area of expertise spanning from K through 12 to career technical education and and a broad, robust portfolio of higher education projects. So we've worked with over 96 campuses and have completed nearly 100 campus master plans for a variety of those institutions. So we've been helping institutions align their facilities with these evolving student and program needs. I just wanted to share a few examples of our work in higher education, and these really represent, they display sort of the direction that some campuses are moving in. And potentially you have some spaces on campus today that are trending in this direction. So the first just being flexible classrooms designed for hybrid and active learning. In this example at Bowling Green State University, which that's the wrong label there, excuse me, shows a variety of flexible furnishings, technology integrated throughout, movable partitions for opening and closing and combining classroom spaces. Informal collaboration spaces supporting group work and student engagement. Again, this is an example at Gannon University's iHack Center. This is a longtime partner and project we've been working on for a series of years, an incremental project with partnerships. Advanced learning environments aligned with workforce and technology needs. This is a project at one of our undisclosed community college partners today, and this is an example in support of their cybersecurity programs. And spaces directly supporting workforce training and employee partnerships. So again, this is an example of one of those learning labs at Gannon University. And then one at Baldwin Wallace University. We also do a variety of other types of spaces on campuses. These are really an example of shifts in the workplace today, really following corporate trends. So more space devoted to shared office environments and less to the individual in terms of workplace. So this can be a real space driver on some campuses today. So we are seeing a shift in those types of spaces, as well as integrated student support spaces, improving access and outcomes on college campuses. So this is an example of the Spartan Success Center that we're doing at Michigan State University right now. And then lastly, in terms of the examples we're sharing tonight, spaces really supporting belonging and wellness on campuses. And these can occur both indoors and and out of doors. So just places for students to land and that have also adjacent services that can help sort of the whole student. So these examples really reflect a broader shift happening across higher education today in support of, again, the students and their needs. So we'll talk today about some of the trends happening in higher education, and this is not exhaustive, but an example of some of the things that we're seeing. So as we all know, higher education is really undergoing significant change. We're living in a very dynamic environment, and one of the most significant changes that we're seeing is the changing admissions pipeline. Some of you may have heard the term the demographic cliff, and really across the Midwest and really across the region, we're seeing a decline in the traditional age students. So this is creating competition for a smaller pool of high school graduates as we're looking out into the future. And so as a result, really future growth or sustaining of university or of institutions really depends on serving other student populations. So adult learners, workforce training, and like I said, new student populations, which really reinforces the value and accessibility that community colleges like Washtenaw Community College really provides today. At the same time, and that's sort of the second headline, really the rapid advancement in technology and AI are transforming how education is being delivered, is reshaping both the student experience and how our faculty teach. So this is bringing about a shift in student expectations and preferences for how they're learning, and just looking for more flexibility in terms of how they're receiving their education. And the third sort of headline there, the topic of workforce needs and how those are also rapidly changing, especially in light of AI and those advancements. Many future jobs don't exist today, or markets are changing, or our graduating students are maybe not arriving in a place that they thought they were going to be, so needing to retool our focus and really looking for, which is driving a demand for new skills and credentials. So with that, become new types of learning environments. So thinking about how that might impact a physical campus. And then finally, in response to many of the pressures of today, students are really questioning the four-year degree. So increasingly seeking faster, more direct, and career-aligned pathways that into the workforce, so which are requiring more integrated support services for students to really help them balance school, work, and life. And all of this is happening, right, within an environment of increasing financial and political pressures, right, requiring institutions to demonstrate outcomes, operate more efficiently, and make more strategic use of their existing resources. So these trends are not abstract. They're really shaping how institutions design programs, deliver education, and invest in their campuses. And so I'll go through sort of three sort of overarching trends and then some of the practices in higher education planning and design that we're sort of implementing. So across higher education, institutions are faced with aging infrastructure, growing deferred or planned maintenance needs, and tighter resources. And so we're also needing to adapt to support new programs and changing enrollment patterns. So these pressures are reshaping how campuses use their space. And as a result, we're seeing the need to make spaces really work harder. So we help in optimizing what a lot of institutions have. This is a big trend on our campuses, really, again, making their space work harder for them. Also, consolidating those underutilized areas and adapting facilities to support their high-demand workforce-aligned programs. And we're really designing a lot of more flexible environments that support partnerships, revenue-generating ability, and then sustainability and long-term resilience for campuses. At the same time, these innovations in technology and AI, along with the changing student expectations, are really fundamentally, again, reshaping how students learn and how faculty teach. And as a result, campuses are needing to create hybrid-ready environments with integrated technology, expanding their digital infrastructure, and we're helping to design more flexible spaces to do that. Solutions were probably put in place during the COVID-19 pandemic as everyone was sort of rushing to adapt to that challenge. And so some of these practices have been adopted by institutions, but we're probably at a point in time when it's important, again, to retool what those look like and how they're operating for you all today, as well as upgrading your lab spaces to support that changing workforce environment. So to align, again, the needs of the future, the workers. And there's also the growing need then to support faculty, right, through training and professional development so that they can effectively use the new tools and approaches. So things like sandbox classrooms, teaching and learning environments on campus to help support that. And the third sort of major trend that I'll go through, and maybe sometimes most importantly, is that we're helping campuses to really rethink space to be more in support of the student success and student experience. So today's students, particularly at community colleges, are balancing work, family, and their education, and looking again for more flexibility, clear pathways, and accessible support. So in response to that, we're helping institutions to create one-stop student support hubs, to integrate wellness and belonging through specific spaces throughout campuses, developing flexible environments, and to support adult learners, returning students, and early college pathways like WTMC. So we see these as being many different types of spaces on a campus, and ultimately the goal is to support students not just academically, but also professionally and personally. So this strengthens both the recruitment side as well as the retention and helping students really persist and complete their programs and successfully transition either to transferring or to into the workforce. So the future of campus here at WCC, it's not necessarily maybe smaller, which for some campuses it is today. We're looking at how, schools can shrink their footprints to better, again, be better stewards of their square footage and resources. But it may be more about retooling to be more flexible, to create better synergies. Maybe programs need to move to be realigned, better aligned, and maybe some areas of growth to again, support career alignment. And also spaces to be designed to support student success through seamless learning across in-person, hybrid, and online environments. So campus must meet the needs of all students, from those traditional learners to adult learners to the early college pathways. And these will really depend on WC's strategic priorities of the future in terms of what that looks like. So we really see the value in planning and believe that it really allows us to collectively rethink your campus to support what's next. So at the collaborative, we take a comprehensive approach, and we begin our process by engaging stakeholders across campus, from students to faculty to staff to boards of trustees, variety of different focus groups to really gather feedback and to inform what the planning outcomes are. We assess and validate existing conditions to inform those solutions. So really, we need to lay the plan's foundation in terms of what exists today. And so concurrent with this master plan, we will have a variety of assessments that will be done by other consultants that are under our umbrella. So campus facilities assessments, infrastructure assessments. There'll be a sustainability and resilience framework effort, parking assessment, and then we'll be utilizing the space utilization and optimization study that was performed by Rick's Associates over the past year. In addition to that, it's highly important for us to be aligning with strategy and what your institution's strategic priorities are. So we'll be making sure that's in line with your enrollment goals, the programs you want to serve, and ultimately your workforce needs, all to culminate in an actionable plan. So outcomes will be the phasing priorities and investment strategies. And this really ensures that the plan can reflect both campus priorities as well as the real world needs. We truly believe in master planning that the process is just as important as the product in bringing people along the way to make these decisions to impact the future of campus. So the process for us is divided into 4 overlapping phases, beginning with collecting data, engaging those stakeholders, and getting input from the board and other constituent groups, and beginning to analyze existing conditions that will ultimately culminate in this collection of assessments to then inform, in the second phase, various master planning options, which will then work to refine and ultimately deliver a final implementable plan. So along the way, we'll be meeting with the Master Plan Steering Committee. So those white dots represent the touch points that we'll have with them to guide the process and rely on them for decision-making along the way. Ultimately, master planning is about aligning your physical campus with your institutional priorities. So planning moves can really help to support student success, your workforce programs, and evolving student needs while making the most effective use of your existing resources. So master planning has the ability to provide a clear, actionable roadmap for long-term investment and decision-making. And so with that, we're really excited to be on campus to kick off this master planning effort this week with the steering committee and to ultimately help you to achieve your long-term goals. So with that, I look forward to working with you all, and I guess I'll take questions if that's what you all would like.
International student and faculty numbers are on the decline. Does that affect your thinking, or how do you think that may affect us as a campus that's had a lot of international activity?
Yeah, well, we certainly recognize it as sort of the projections of the future. And in fact, there are implications to the number of students that you all maybe can attract or that are available to attend. We will look to you all to understand what ultimately your strategic goals are for the campus and what that looks like, and react to how we can help the physical space then support those student bodies or other partnership programs, et cetera, that are on campus.
Go ahead, Dave.
A couple or several slides ago, you had a Venn diagram that had collegiate,
Yeah.
WTMC.
I can go back to it. Yes.
Right there. So I'm adding all that up, that's 100%, but you've got overlap. So shouldn't that areas of overlap be kind of make it more than 100%? Because if WTMC is 4% of the space utilization, but it overlaps with collegiate, and some collegiate is used. And I'm thinking that even some of those
Should probably be a pie chart.
things should overlap each other, like community facing might want to overlap corporate. I guess it does a little bit, corporate and collegiate, but maybe even WTMC. But I'm thinking that and that's part of the flexibility of space use, is that it could be used for multiple different things. Things that could be used for collegiate activities can also potentially at times be used for corporate activities, or when we do our And we do our training of corporate entities, the UA and the other trades that come in the summer are using some of the same spaces that are used for collegiate or for other purposes here. So somehow this isn't really capturing the amount of overlap and the amount of flexibility I would be looking for in how the spaces are designed to meet those separate needs.
Yes.
I mean, I know it's just a graphic representation, but I'd like the graphic representation to more closely reflect the reality of the flexibility that I think we're going to need.
Yes, that will be the ideal solution, and I think we'll begin to learn more about WCC and what those overlaps are, what the desires are for them to overlap, or where the challenges are because they are overlapping, and then ultimately begin to inform moves or shifts on campus to better create synergies for maybe some of these things that, as you said, should be, or say, well, we need to kind of reallocate space or move things to work more effectively for how we're providing both education to various types of learners as well as maybe the other partnership programs, et cetera. And so you're probably right. This graphic needs.
You're just new into this.
Yes.
And I'm probably jumping ahead of a lot of the information that you're going to be learning.
I know it's fantastic, and I will say we pulled this information from the space and space utilization and optimization report that we will be relying heavily on to inform the beginnings of our thinking about space and how it should maybe be reallocated on campus.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your question.
If I may, thank you. Oh, would you like to go first before I talk? Okay, thank you. We're going to write the plan. They aren't going to write the plan.
Right.
And I think that's the exciting part. What we're getting right now is, like, we're sharing the facts. That's all the assessments that they've done. They're in the process of doing. So we'll look at that information. Then we'll look at where we want to go. We'll talk about that. We'll say, oh, geez, I'm making this up, so this is not what we're doing, but I'm going to use this as an example. We might decide, gee, mobility, we should consider going into air traffic. Maybe I'm making this up, I'm not suggesting it. We might say, gee, isn't that mobility? So shouldn't we look at maybe going into that? And maybe then we do an assessment. Is there a need for it? Is that something? So let's just say there is. Let's say we have the property. So you came up with this vision, get input, maybe somebody else comes up with it and we hear it. We look at it, we say, oh, okay, well, gee, we have the property. Let's see what we can do about expanding our tech program and having that offered. And then we put that in our plan. And so that's just an example. Please don't write that we're going into air. We're not doing this. Well, I don't think so, but we could. But that's what it's about. It's about creating our future together. So she's going to facilitate our discussion, just facilitate it. We have the answers somewhere in here. There's the answer. And within all of our colleagues here. So that's where we're going. And it's an exciting time. And I'm looking forward to hearing from this sheet or anything, or even now, and you don't have to say it now, you could let me know, what information are you interested in learning about if you want to know more? Because we do this every day, and we'll be happy to share anything that you're interested in learning more about, or if you have a particular passion, but we'll be sharing it all with you anyway. Everything is going to be very transparent and inspirational. So it's exciting.
Northwestern Michigan College has a flight training program and owns 15 airplanes.
Okay, there you go. See? Here we go. Did you get that, Eva?
Did you have a question, Ruth?
I do. I have a couple of questions. One is, there may be a big difference between what students need and what students want. And I'm a bit shy, maybe I'm old-fashioned, of creating beautiful spaces that may attract new students but are useless. I think a lot of our universities have gone in that direction of creating country clubs rather than universities, and I would hate for us to go in that direction. Having pretty spaces is important, but it's not, for me, the most important thing. So I'd like to work on the question of what students need to further their education rather than the party space. I guess that's my biggest question. I don't know how we find that out, but,
Well, we'll look for it.
yeah.
The questions? Oh, go ahead, Diana.
This is a thought that I've had, and I've voiced it before in the past of my years here, housing. And I would like for us to look at that piece of it. I know it's way out there, but I know, and I've spoken with different trustees from around the country, even right here in Michigan, have housing. And if we want to attract more students that live out from here, or even if we can get more international students, they'll have a place to stay. And I've discussed this before, and I'm just want this to be a thought
Yeah. it's a
that
good
we
thought.
could look into, because we have the property. We have the property that when I came that we voted on, and it's still vacant. And so I would like to see for us to explore that avenue.
Thank you.
Oh, go ahead, Eileen.
Trustee McKnight Morton, I would agree with you. And it's not something that I would have said 5 years ago or 10 years ago or when I was a student here in the early 1990s. But I think the housing situation for people in this area has changed dramatically. And we are regularly confronted with the fact that the people who live in this area cannot afford to live here. And the number of spaces that are available for people to live in are declining. The number of rental spaces that are being converted into short-term rentals as opposed to long-term rentals is really taking a bite out of the market. The number of homes that are being converted to rentals from single-family owner-occupied homes is really changing the dynamic here. And so I would suggest that in order to provide support for a certain number of students who need to have a guaranteed housing in order to complete an academic program, I think we at least need to look at the issue.
Eileen, I started looking at this a good 25, 30 years ago. And in my discussions with other trustees from around the country at our national conferences. And it's amazing what they have done. And right here in Michigan, what they've done. And like I said, when I got on the board, we purchased some property that the president knows about. And then since that time, we purchased more property. So we have the space. And it's just a matter how we could go about doing it. And I think this is a good time for us. Now we're really talking about a master plan. This would be an excellent time for us to investigate and see if that's a possibility.
I just remember Linda Blakey and I sitting at a table talking about housing for students a long time ago and deciding not to do that. But I notice on your map, the little imaginary forest here on River Drive isn't on the map. Do we still own that?
What imaginary forest?
The
Switch to the map.
that we had to put all the trees on when we built the fitness center? It's right down the road on
Oh, you
Huron
just
River
passed it.
Drive.
There you go.
Well, there's a
No,
Fran's
it's not the
block.
house. There was a house. The Geisendorfer's house was there in the back. And the house, we bought it and we tore down the house.
Right.
And the county made us plant a whole bunch of weird trees on it.
Where was
Yeah.
this?
Right? If
I'm
you go
looking
to
at-
the
I'm looking at
light
the map.
here and you turn left on Huron River Drive,
It's right
it's
there on the
the
corner.
one, two, third property,
Third
fourth
property.
property.
It used to be a farmhouse.
So
We haven't sold anything.
on this
so
map,
still
where would
own
I
it.
see it?
It's
Over
not.
by master planning, where the words
Yeah.
are.
I will say that this isn't the full
Okay.
breadth of the area that you own, and we have that technical information. This is just zooming into the sort of inner part
So
of
over
campus.
here, we own some property.
If I may, just a thought, and I don't know this answer, so it's not, I don't know it. But what I do know is that more and more students now are taking online. So when we start looking at that number, if we project it, do we need all this space? And could some of the space we already have be housing? I don't know. I'm not speaking with authority here. I'm just speaking as part of the group.
There's also housing across the street on
That's
Park
true.
Road. I mean, there's tons.
It's a thought. that
All
we
good
can
thoughts.
explore.
Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Look, would you take these and then
Yeah.
I'll get information to the trustees? Yeah. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, thank you all for your
Thank
comments and
you.
thoughts. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to monthly reports, tab B. The recommendation is that the Board of Trustees approve the personnel recommendations as submitted. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Or,
Any discussion?
trustee Hatcher.
Oh, go ahead.
March is a slow month. We had one professional faculty retiring, but I'm glad to see new positions as custodians. I think they're very important, and I'm glad that we're hiring 2 new ones. Not replacements, but 2 new positions.
Go ahead, Diana.
I just want to recognize James Popovich, I hope I said that right, for 26 years of service, who is ending employment. Thank you.
Any other comments? All right, all in favor of the report, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. All right, moving on to tab C. VP Barnes. What would you like to highlight here for us?
Good evening. I'll just highlight a few things. It won't be dissimilar to what I've reviewed over the past few months. Just really quick looking at our revenues. I won't talk about fall. It's a couple of months behind us. The numbers you're looking at are as of the end of February. So the winter semester has turned out quite well. It's roughly the same as it was for winter 2025, which is a good thing because last winter was a very good semester. So we've managed to stay on par with that semester and a little bit ahead of what we expected in the budget. We weren't expecting such a good winter semester this year. And accordingly, student fees are up in accordance with the fall and winter semesters. So total tuition and fees are doing quite well right now at about 1.3 million, favorable to our budget. Property taxes, before this number was negative, it's now positive. There's just some timing issues, but we think that this is going to be largely permanent, that 400,000. There was the dissolution of the SIO DDA that is helping us this year that wasn't expected, so that's going to be favorable to our budget. For state appropriations, the same explanation I've given for the past few months. We got a little bit more state money than we were expecting, and also the LCSA or personal property taxes have turned out also favorable to what we had expected. In terms of trade partnerships, enrollments are going well, particularly with the sprinkler fitters. So you can see the positive variance there, the 184. Investment income also doing quite well, 831,000 favorable. Interest rates have remained pretty high, higher than we thought. in addition to the long-term investments that we've made over the past 12 months or so, we've locked in some good interest rates for a few years to come. In the other area, that is largely the police academy. We did an extra police academy this year that we weren't expecting. And finally, auxiliary activities, the same explanation. Largely, the conference center has been doing very well, conference center, catering, and so forth, as well as the bookstore has been doing well. So you can see their total revenues are up by over $4 million right now. In terms of the expenditures, largely favorable. The largest part of the variance is vacancies that have continued throughout the year. I would say, however, they are trending much better. We've been averaging 9 less vacancies than last year this year, and we've been averaging 15 less vacancies than the year before. So even though we still have some vacancies, they're filling much quicker. So when we do have somebody who leaves the college for whatever reason, it's not remaining open as long as it used to. So things are trending well. There's also some timing involved. There's usually a little bit more spending in the final quarter. So April through June, we'll see more spending. So things that we thought we were going to spend earlier are going to be spent later. And there are also some things in here that we know we were planning on spending this year, and we know we're going to be retimed into next year. So, for example, the web refresh we had put into this year. We'll spend a little bit this year, but a lot of that money is going to be spent in the next fiscal year. So that's really what I had to talk about. I don't know if there are any questions.
I just want to highlight for the other trustees, the one negative on expenditures is the counterbalance of the added police academy. So where we had more revenue on the revenue side, we also had more expense on the expenditure side. So that's not something that's out of whack. It's just, it's represented there, but the net benefit to the college is positive.
Yes. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out, Trustee DeVarty.
I'd make a motion that the board receive the financial reports for February 2026, general fund, capital fund, combined schedule of investments, all funds as submitted.
Make a motion.
Well,
Motion?
I'm
Support. Okay, thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Tab D, the Facilities Development Report, VP Whipstock.
Good evening. I'd like to go over a few of the more notable projects that we've been working on for the past month. The rapid roll-up doors in the automotive area are now complete. All the parts were in, and we finally got them installed. The OE clean room is underway. Construction has started. Demo is completed, of course. So it is on time to be completed. Student Center restrooms, Phase 2 is undergoing. We're actually starting to install a tile and other sinks and stuff like that. That is scheduled to be done at sometime next month. One of the other small jobs that we did, you'll see on it, the Damon Flowers restrooms, the flooring was bad, so we just put new flooring in there, which is in the men's and women's locker room in that area. So that was just complete, actually, last week. Now that the weather's broke, well, at least for a few days it broke, we were able to get back on the walkway lighting. Hopefully, we should be able to get that done by next week, or at least this phase of the walkway lighting.
Are those new lamps?
I'm sorry?
Are those new lamps?
Yeah, all new fixtures. The older ones were retrofit LEDs, and they were starting to fail, and we couldn't get replacement parts, so we are changing out the heads to more current LED lights.
And I imagine those are throughout the entire campus that has a walkway?
Yep, so they're the same type of fixture that's in the parking lots and the walkways. It's all going to be centrally controlled by public service. It's called an end lighting system, so they can dim them, turn them on, turn them off, all based off of what they seem to want. So if they want to shut down one parking lot, they can shut all the lights off or put them at 50%. So there's going to be a far more control for public service in the lighting around campus.
Oh, excellent.
LA Auditorium is underway, construction starting. It's still on, has to be complete. And this is something I wanted to put in there. This was, if you remember, we just completed a lot of the EV chargers throughout campus. And they've been in for a little over a year now. And we ran some data on, how are they been being used. So the use has gone up as projected, and we are averaging about 10,000 kWh per month of electric charge. So what does that mean? In electric vehicles, that's about 30,000 miles. So if you take a look at 30,000 miles and you take an average of, say, 25 miles per gallon of gas, that's about 1,200 gallons of gasoline we're helping to avert with our EV charging. So uses has been going up, especially the Health and Fitness Center, and the ones here at the ML are getting highly used as well. So our EV charger investment is, I won't say paying off, but it's paying off.
So then each year with the increased usage, does the energy wattage go down? I mean, how does this work? Because I'm looking at your map here. So
Okay.
the green line is steadily going up, but then February,
That, yeah,
Was
the
that just because
accumulative
it's
total over
winter
the
or
years. Yeah, the green line is the accumulative totals over the years,
Right.
and the bars are representing what we use per month. So as you see, the trend is, not steady, but it's been constantly going up. People are starting to use our chargers far more often. So, and like I said, we are averaging about 10,000 kWh a month. And what was really interesting, I was talking with Terry just a little bit ago, if you look at December, when we're only here 2 weeks out of the year,
yeah.
it's being used far more than any other time. So, and a lot of it is at the Health and Fitness Center because people, I think, use it more during the month of December. So,
Okay.
but the investment's paying off.
Paying off, thank
Go
you.
ahead, Dave.
So as we see increased usage, are you seeing places that we're at our capacity and we should add more? Or is that down the road?
It's down the road. I think at some point we'll have to add more in the parking garage because I think more of our faculty is using it. The areas where you would think that the students would be used, like lots 6 and 7, aren't as used as often. These ones out here are starting to be under constant use. So if there's any areas, I think it would be the parking garage and then maybe out in front here.
I'd like to keep posted on that. If you're seeing capacity, that we're at capacity and demand that would be helpful to help meet a growing demand, I'd like to be notified of that.
Okay.
Kind of ahead of the game. So
One of the
could
things
look
we
at
did engineer here is that we actually put enough feed out to these areas that way we could easily just tap on to what we have to and add another chargers. So it wouldn't be another run that we'd have to take out there. So it's just adding more additional chargers. But we didn't want to start out with a whole bunch of chargers and then have them
Right.
sit idle, so.
But you're the ones that see how fast we're reaching capacity. So I leave it to staff to come to us and say, okay, it's time to spend more money on
Yeah.
putting some more in.
And Bill Grice, our energy, he watches it and, we talk about, where we may need to. And like I said, parking garage would probably be the next area we may have to add some more to.
Thank you very much.
That's it? Okay,
Thank you. Okay, remarks of the Board of Trustees. Anybody like to make any remarks tonight?
I really don't have much to say, but I will say that I've noticed, I don't know, it's been a couple of months now, maybe the beginning of this year, in our little leaflet folder here, messages from the dean and Business Computer Technologies Division, well, updates and tidbits and news, what's going on here and there and everywhere. I want to say thank you. I think this is really nice and important at the same time. We the board, we're not involved in the day-to-day activities here on campus, and especially myself. I try to get here when I can, and it's not often as it should, but this lets me know just all of what's going on for me behind the scenes. And I really like how in-depth it is, how it covers everything and everyone. So yeah, I appreciate the little newsletters. And so yeah, thank you. Keep it up.
Go ahead, Dave.
Two things. First of all, I want to second Angela's thank you to the staff for providing these newsletters. I think it's really helpful information, and I take it home after the meeting and read them all. Thank you very much. Secondly, I want to pass some schedules around for the Ann Arbor Film Festival, which is going right now. I'm missing the opening night party, and maybe later tonight I'll join the after party, which will be at Nights downtown across from the Michigan Theater. But this is the 64th year of the Ann Arbor Film Festival. It's the premier international experimental film festival. There are two programs I want to highlight that are free at 1 o'clock tomorrow and Thursday, New Voices, that will be featuring student films from universities, actually including a university in England, students from these various universities, and colleges, including Washtenaw Community College. So our students will be represented there, and I'm very proud of the work that our students do, and I've called out when they do their VidFest at the end of each semester, right here in the auditorium, right here in Morris Lawrence. It's a wonderful, our students' work is great, and they win awards at competitions, collegiate competitions throughout the state. And if you have any time to make it to any of the shows at the film festival, I highly recommend. Winner's Night is Sunday night. If any of you are interested in going and a little short on the ticket price, come talk to me and I'll get you a couple vouchers for tickets. Anybody here around the table or out in the assembled masses that are watching tonight. Thank you very much.
Any other trustees? All right, President
Thank you.
Blanca.
Trustee Hatcher.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
I
missed
was
you.
just going to mention that I was at an event where there were a lot of Kiwanis representatives, and they mentioned the scholarship to Washtenaw Community College, and I was able to meet with them and thank them very much. So unfortunately, it was a funeral, but it was a pleasant experience. Thanks.
Thank you. Well, Trustee DeVarty, thank you very much for supporting our students and engaging them in the film festival. It's a good opportunity for them, for our college, showcasing us. And it's a perfect segue for me to remind everyone that our student art show is on display until April 6th in the Student Center. So if you get a chance, please take a minute to just go by and look at it. Washtenaw Economic Club will take place this Thursday. And Justine Johnson, some of you may know her. She's the Senior Vice President and Chief Mobility Officer at the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. She was on the stage with me at the auto show. So it'll be, we're really grateful that she'll be here to speak. And I'd like to congratulate, on behalf of everyone, Trustee McKnight Morton for being reelected as Vice Chair of the Education Block at SEMCOG, the Southeast Michigan Council of Governments. And thank you for your continued leadership and support. I really appreciate that. So thank you so much. Thank you. Congratulations.
I would like to just throw this out real quick. I've been doing this for some time now. And at one point, there were a lot of, when I say a lot, but a lot of the community colleges in our region have been coming to representing their college as SEMCOG. It's very disappointing now that it has fallen off. And there's only a few of us left. And the ones who are there, they come because they really believe in the mission of SEMCOG, like I do. So what I did, I challenged them when the election last week, is that we all have to come together to figure out how we can get other CCs to join SEMCOG or rejoin or come back. St. Clair is one that just totally dropped out from coming to SEMCOG. And there's others that have not been coming. And it could be reasons, but they should have an alternate. And that has not happened. So I'm just throwing this out in case you know somebody, you're talking to somebody for a different school, but we're all in the same region. I appreciate letting them know that SEMCOG is the place for the come because you can find out a lot of information. Just get on their website, semcog.com, and you'll find whatever you're looking for, they have it. Those are very intelligent people, very smart people, and they know what they're doing, and the government uses them a lot for what they're doing on the government side. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. And again, thank you for letting me be the representative for SEMCOG.
Thank you.
Okay, old business, tab E, the professional audit services. The recommendation is that the Board of Trustees approve the selection of Riemann Robson LLC as the external auditor for WCC and a contract in the amount not to exceed $348,834. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Any discussion or questions on this? Okay, hearing none. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Chair Fleming?
Yes.
Vice Chair Davis?
Yes.
Treasurer DeVarty?
DeVarty, yes.
Secretary Hatcher?
Yes.
Yes.
Trustee Milliken?
Yes.
Trustee Peck?
Yes.
Thank you. Tab F, recommendation for discontinued programs. The recommendation is that the Board of Trustees approve the discontinued programs for the 2026-27 academic year as submitted. Do I hear a motion?
Support.
Thank you. Any discussion or questions? Okay, seeing none. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Chair Fleming?
Yes.
Vice Chair Davis?
Yes.
Treasurer DeVarty?
DeVarty, yes.
Secretary Hatcher?
Yes.
Trustee McKnight Morton?
Yes.
Trustee Milliken?
Yes.
Trustee Peck?
Yes.
Thank you. Tab G, new programs. The recommendation is that the Board of Trustees approve the new programs for the 2026-27 academic year as submitted. Do I hear a motion?
Support.
Excuse me. Thank you. Any discussion or questions here? All right, seeing none. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Chair Fleming?
Yes.
Vice Chair Davis?
Yes.
Treasurer DeVarty?
DeVarty, yes.
Secretary Hatcher?
Yes.
Trustee McKnight Morton?
Yes.
Trustee Milliken?
Yes.
Trustee Peck?
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to new business, tab H. First, the resolution to recommend the allowable 2026-27 ad valorem tax rate. Tab H. VP Barnes, do you want to highlight anything here for us or explain?
Yeah, this is simply, when we'll present the official budget in April. So this, what we're asking for is the authorization to use the full millage rate of 3.3429 in our development of the budget.
Okay. Any questions for VP Barnes? Go ahead.
Simple question. Does the state sometime require a rollback on that? Does the state sometimes require us to roll that back a little bit?
You mean
Based on how?
For Headley or something?
Yeah, I'm just not sure.
No, not for the budget, not
Not
that
for
I'm
this.
aware of. no.
Okay.
Question? All right, thank you. Tab I, proposed revision to Board of Trustee Policy 2080, the tuition payment plan. All right, go ahead, VP Barnes.
Yeah, we're proposing a slight revision to policy 2080, which is the tuition payment plan policy. This policy was put into place in 1991, and it has some very prescriptive payment plans that are in there, which I'm sure were very innovative at the time, but now they're kind of restrictive. In fact, we have those payment plans in our portfolio of plans only because it's in the board policy. But we have much more flexible plans available than these that allow them to pay over a longer period of time, more payments, so each payment is smaller. So we'd like to move away from this prescriptive policy, and the wording simply makes it more general. So we're still respecting the goals of the original policy. It's just making it less restrictive so we can, build upon the innovations that we have in systems like Transact, which the board approved a couple of months back.
Any questions on this? Okay, go ahead.
Not a question, but when I looked at this, I started out by looking at the outcomes. The implementation of the payment plan supports the college's goals to encourage timely registration, provide students with flexible tuition payment options, support student retention, which is really important, and improve the college's ability to collect outstanding receivables. All of these are really positive. And starting from that and then looking back at the rest of it, I look forward to voting on this next month.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, tab J. Resolution for the tax capture. The recommendation is that the Board of Trustees adopt the resolution to exempt Washtenaw Community College taxes from capture within the proposed expansion of the Ann Arbor DDA tax increment finance plan as submitted. Do I hear a motion?
I move this.
Okay, any discussion or questions on this? Go ahead, Dave.
I'd like to speak to this primarily because I was the person that brought this to the table. Last Wednesday, I was at the County Board of Commissioners meeting, and they had a similar resolution on their agenda that night, and the County Board of Commissioners voted to withdraw from the expanded Ann Arbor downtown development area. And that brought it to my attention, and upon further inquiry, I discovered that we have a very narrow time to, if we choose to opt out of that downtown development district, we have to do it by the beginning of April. So basically at this meeting. So as I looked at, I just want to speak to this, and as a former member of the Ann Arbor Downtown Development Authority, I just want to give a little back history. I served on the DDA for 18 years through the early 1990s, the early 2000s. The DDA was created, the Ann Arbor DDA was created in 1983 when retail was leaving downtown. There was hardly any residential housing downtown, and parking structures were literally falling down. When I was on the DDA, we had to deal with people that had their cars parked in some of the structures, and chunks of concrete would fall on their structures. We literally tore down 3 of the structures over the course of the 1990s and rebuilt them from the ground up. These were things that needed to be done to stimulate the economic vitality and development of downtown Ann Arbor. Over the past more than 40 years, the DDA has rebuilt pretty much all the parking structures or built new ones, updated pedestrian walkways, sidewalks, and downtown public spaces. And now the Ann Arbor Downtown District is among the most economically dynamic downtowns in the state. I'm proud of the time, the 18 years that I spent serving on the DDA board, and believe the DDA was very successful in creating the foundation to support a vibrant downtown Ann Arbor. On this board, we are currently focused on keeping tuition as low as possible for our county constituents that come from all ends of the county, and reinvesting in our capital infrastructure. For example, we're looking at, in the near future, a $30 million rehabilitation and rebuild of the Student Center and updated technology and all sorts of things. And that's just an example. There's plenty of other things in our 5-year capital plan and beyond. These are huge economic demands that is fiduciary our fiduciary responsibility to the taxpayers, to our constituents countywide, says that if we want to keep these things going, we need the economic capability of doing that. At this time, we need to hold on to those taxes that would otherwise be captured by this expansion of the DDA to deliver continue to deliver high-quality educational opportunity for students from throughout the county, including our students coming from the most economically distressed parts of the county. And we do that. We open doors for students to either higher education or new employment opportunities. And we need to maintain our capability to do that, which is why I brought this to the board. I just want to say the county is pulled out, the library is pulled out, the Ann Arbor District Library, the schools are out, and so a lot of these entities at this time facing their economic challenges are saying, okay, that's enough. The most vibrant economic engine of the county doesn't need to capture the money, the tax money that benefits people from throughout the county. So I urge a vote for this. And I'm sorry that it's a last-minute thing, but it has to be in order for us to pull out.
Any other questions or comments? Go ahead, Eileen.
I have a question. The motion indicates that, excuse me, the motion indicates that they wish to expand the boundaries of the district and also extend the life of the district. So this motion that we are passing tonight extracts us from the expanded boundaries. Does it extract us from the extension of the DDA?
That's ambiguous. I'm not sure if it does or not, but my goal is to extract us from as much as we're able to by statute.
This resolution will certainly allow us to opt out of the geographic expansion. I do not believe it will allow us to come out of the original zone that we're currently going to be still.
Could you speak up? Because
This is not, it's likely not going to allow us to get out of the actual original zone that we're currently in, just the expanded area.
Oh. I would say there's some ambiguity in that, because this plan is such a big expansion, not just of the boundary, but of the goals, the articulated goals. It's essentially a brand-new plan. Whatever the statute will allow is what I would like us to get out of, and we'll see. Hopefully the city will accommodate us and release our tax money. You know, it's the tax money that our constituents vote generously to support the mission of this college. And we do everything we can to live up to our responsibilities to deliver the product to our constituents. they expect us to use the money for educational opportunities. And I view it as our obligation to do what we can to make sure that that money comes to the college to continue our mission of delivering the highest quality education at the lowest, most economically accessible cost to our county residents.
The questions here? No? All right, Vanessa, call the roll.
Chair Fleming?
Yes.
Vice Chair Davis?
Yes.
Treasurer DeVarty?
DeVarty, yes.
Secretary Hatcher?
Yes.
Trustee McKnight Morton?
Yes.
Trustee Milliken?
Yes.
Trustee Peck?
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.